Hello.
Hello,
Hi
everybody.
there. How's it going?
Sorry, I'm sharing real quick, so y'all keep talking.
I'm trying to share too.
We
Last
don't care
time,
about you.
last time I did this, all the places that I shared to was right at the top. Now it was all scrambled.
So you gotta kind of go like search for it now, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
But
that's some.
here's the thing. The search should be smaller because I have probably left about 100, at least 100 groups.
Oh, really?
Hey, Sean.
What's
I've,
going
I,
on, Sean?
Hi Sean. I've been doing a lot of cleanup on my Facebook.
I've actually been starting to do the same thing too. But the worst part about that is it's like you leave one group and then all of a sudden you get an invite to another one. It's like you're in an in and out situation.
I've been getting a bunch of invites and I have been declining. It's gotten to the point where it's just way too much.
If
I've
there's
been
just too many of them.
Yeah, I've been leaving groups. I've been unfollowing pages. Um, I've been going through all of my groups and I was shocked to see how many have been archived, how many have been paused, and how many there hasn't been anything done in 2 or 3 years.
Oh
Well,
my
I mean, I've
god.
been trying to unfriend this guy named Jeremy York, but it just keeps coming back.
I have heard that he's a bit of an asshole, so I don't blame you there.
He is
I heard he
more like
just
that.
doesn't. I heard he kind of just never gives up. He always keeps pushing what he wants to who he wants to add.
See, Sean is going to be my new bestie. Oh no, he is Rich's brother, so I don't know. That's kind of scary.
I was going to say you would have to deal with Rich then over a
I know.
period
I
of
don't know if I
time.
could do that.
Oh, and Adrian.
It's going to take a minute for people to come on, Sean. It normally does take a few
Yeah.
minutes.
We
But
got
hey, y'all chat for a sec. I'll be right back.
I mean, we got a few people watching already. They just haven't really commented. So, but they are here though.
Yeah, I'll bet you one of them is Jill because she's one of the lurkers.
Yeah. She has not been watching my show lately. Come to think of it, I don't know where she's been.
Oh, I could have sworn that she shared your show yesterday.
Not that I recall. I mean, I really don't know, to be honest with you.
Unless it's last weekend I'm thinking of.
It may have been last week.
Probably. So Eileen and I were talking before you came on, and we didn't really have a topic for tonight. So we just started throwing around some ideas, and one of the ones that she suggested that I thought probably should be talked about is being able to balance the multifaceted life that everybody has, not just your personal life and your work life, but for those of us that are in the paranormal field, balancing all of that too. Because there's a few people in my opinion that is not doing a proper balance where they're letting the paranormal field just basically overrun everything else.
Okay, that makes I can understand where this is going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought that was a really good topic, and I know there's been a lot of crap going on lately.
Yep.
So trying to get the proper balance where you have that. I'm not really even sure.
Well, and
What,
it's for your safety too, because you do have to leave the paranormal behind a little bit and get back in your own mindset to keep, to keep things away from you as well. To
yeah,
keep those attachments away, and then especially if you have major abilities, I mean, that's got to be a struggle. I don't know about that as much, but that's got to be a struggle.
I believe it.
it's not that different from when you're working and you're having a very very bad day at work. you come home and that frustration that you have from work, you can end up taking that out on your own family.
Exactly.
Not intentionally, but it does happen.
Sorry, I'm having to go in and out right now. Hold on.
I cannot even tell you how that's happened to me a few times. I mean, I'm ashamed to admit it, but unfortunately, it's kind of true, especially with my job that I have. I've had some pretty bad moments.
I'm pretty sure that it's probably that way for nearly everybody.
Yeah.
But for me, I actually got to the point where I don't care.
Right.
As soon as I leave work, whatever happens there and what did happen there no longer matters. Because now I'm on my time. I'm not being paid to worry about their crap.
Right. What's going on, Adrian?
Just got off work.
As we're talking about
and we're just talking about it.
Work-life paranormal balance.
Yeah.
I mean, it's even like things. I don't see how Nick does it. Jeremy, you either. Adrian, you're getting there borderline where you have like 50 shows. I mean, when do you have time to yourself? That the whole, no offense, I mean, the whole paranormal world is watching you.
You don't.
No.
Well, you see, that's why I make sure the weekends are always off for me. So that's kind of some type of balance. But yeah, you really don't, though.
Well, I'm really lucky in that sense because now I have all the time to myself.
Yeah.
And right now I'm only doing this show every single week. I don't know what I'm going to do with 13th Dimension just yet. I'm not ready to start running that show again. And then Donald and I, we're doing the Marks on Wrestling, but that's not every single week.
Well, and it's not that we don't enjoy everyone coming on because, trust me, we do. I mean, I feel like, I've met Rich. Now I'm like, okay, I've got to meet Sean. I've got to meet Brad, even though Brad, gets on my nerves. But, because y'all are extended family at this point. But, there is time where you've got to just shut it down and go, I can't today. I can't.
Nope.
Like poor Adrian, heck, she's like me. We have to eat on the show just to make it.
Yep.
As she's eating.
He turned on the show, got it ready, had the plate right here. I came straight down from upstairs where I work and said hi to the kid. And yeah, that's it.
Well, on that note, maybe we can change the show from Supernatural Talk to Dinner with the Paranormals.
There we go.
Yeah.
There we go. Then people will ask us to send them dinner.
Like doing like Grubhub or Uber Eats or something.
Well, I remember one time 2 or 3 years ago on 13th Dimension, back when Scott and I were doing this whole thing with the chicken nuggets and the Slim Jims.
And that nasty whatever Wendy's chips, yeah.
They're good. But and we had Jenny Sullivan on the show, and we did this little skit where it was myself, Crystal, and Jenny. Crystal would hand me a chicken nugget through the camera, and I would hand that chicken nugget to Jenny through the camera.
Mm-hmm.
Wow, that's awesome.
We had a lot of fun doing that little skit.
I'm just surprised Scotty wasn't part of that one.
I forget why, but he couldn't make the show that particular week. I don't remember why though.
Probably working.
Yeah.
It could be. It could be. It was one of our first shows when we got started.
Yeah.
But actually, that was the first show he had to miss.
Oh, really?
Yeah. That was the first show he had to miss. That was right before Halloween.
So it could have been snowing. That might have been what was going on.
At that time, I don't remember.
I don't think it would. I don't think it snowed because I would have remembered it because it would have came through my area first.
Not always. Not always.
Yeah.
We were supposed to get a little bit of rain, but it never happened. Now, from what I understand, we're supposed to get rain tomorrow.
I think ours comes in starting tomorrow or the weekend. I'm not sure.
We actually just got hit hard by another storm. We were under a tornado watch once again earlier today, but
Oh, I didn't watch the Weather Channel today.
yeah, we were under a tornado watch. I mean, technically we still are till 8 o'clock, but the storm has already passed, so they'll probably end it early. But when the storm did hit, it ended up becoming a severe thunderstorm warning. And you know, I actually was going to film it because this was one of those really good storms. I think it actually at one point became like a minor microburst, but just as I was about to take my phone out and start filming, that's when it ended. I'm like, damn it, because this was one of the best ones. And if that was enough, we also got hit by hail, which was like pea-sized hail.
no.
So it was quite a storm that I was ready to film, but it just left before I even started filming. I was mad.
I guess last night, Oklahoma got hit. My son was telling me that 3 people were dead, but he didn't know what town, so I don't know.
Oh,
Sean, I know that's where Rich is.
It was in Shawnee, Oklahoma. Shawnee, which is
part?
near that's near Oklahoma City. Because when I was on earlier with Lois and Rosie, obviously Rosie was more familiar with the state than myself, and she said it's more closer to the Oklahoma City area. And she had a relative of hers that actually came out, I think, from near Shawnee. This is a few days before the tornado hits, so she dodged a bullet.
He said it was Cole, Oklahoma.
I think that's another nearby
Where?
town.
I haven't heard that one.
Cole. And then whoever Facebook user is, hello. They said Cole, Oklahoma too.
I've lived in Oklahoma for years and never heard of that one. I know Shawnee.
Well, that's because you're not cool enough to know it.
Probably a good thing around Oklahoma.
Facebook user is Lee Butcher.
Hello.
Oh,
babe.
okay. And this
That's
tornado that
Are you a new viewer, Lee? Welcome.
this tornado was also a monster. I mean, it was about a mile wide wedge tornado.
Yeah, that was bad that it killed somebody. Somebody didn't heed the warning.
Like I said the other day, they're beautiful, but I mean, if you just really look at them, but the destruction's and all that.
I saw a video of the tornado itself, and first off, this is probably also the reason why it caused deaths. This one also occurred at nighttime, and since it was a wedge, you know, not even lightning or power flashes could even illuminate because it was simply too wide.
Well, I know
it was
that
also
last
rain
one
rounds.
that flew through, you guys produced one of the best pictures I've ever seen. When somebody caught the lightning hitting this, what was the Sears Tower, Willis Tower?
Oh yeah, that was me. It was not my pictures, but I found those. Yeah,
that was an amazing catch somebody got there.
Yeah, they were definitely at the right place and right time.
Yeah,
I would definitely go look at that, Sean. Sean says he got some video.
Oh, he
Okay,
did.
that's
Sean,
not.
aren't you in Arkansas now? But I know you're from Oklahoma, but aren't you in Arkansas now?
Oh, and just so you guys know where Cole. Oh wait, well, the towns of Cole and Shawnee, they were about an hour apart. So if this was the same tornado, it would have struck Cole first, which is kind of southwest of Shawnee, and then it would have moved northeast towards Shawnee.
Yeah, my son is in Ketchum, Oklahoma, which is near Veneta, Tulsa area, and he said it got real bad.
There's the not good brother. I like the other brother. Oh, so you're in Broken Arrow too?
Oh,
okay, I thought you had moved. But see, I like Sean, the other brother. You know, he's kind of crazy.
Well, they're also saying so far that, I mean, they haven't really measured it yet, but they are saying it did produced near F3 damage, but it could, considering this was a mile-wide monster, there's probably most likely a chance it'll probably be upgraded.
Yeah.
Man. So everyone be safe, because this year has produced a whole lot of just bad weather. So everyone that's out there, if you have bad weather, one thing that we do, if you are not on the things chat, let us know. One thing we do is we do try to keep up with where everybody's at, especially when there's storms basically from one coast to the other. We try to make sure everybody's okay.
There's Cole straight south of Oklahoma City, about 20 miles. Yeah, he's saying whoever the Facebook user is was an EF3.
Yeah, my daughter lives right outside of there.
That should be Lee.
Between Duncan and Lawton.
So these are basically two towns that are kind of outside, but kind of surround Oklahoma City. Yep,
said it was a wedge.
They have multiple vortices, tornadoes within the main funnel, which those vortices can be quite destructive.
You know, I'm almost to the point of being able to tell y'all, gosh, it's 120 something degrees heat index. I think I would rather that than be talking about destruction.
Yeah, it is. It is worse, Sean. It definitely is. See, we've actually been getting hit hard too. So, in fact, actually, just right before we ended the show earlier, Lois, Rosie, and I, we actually said, because we had a few tornadoes here earlier too. We were saying basically pray for both Illinois and Oklahoma because it was getting pretty bad, and I think Rosie was having some of that severe weather too.
Now, is Illinois, is that are y'all used to getting a lot of tornadoes, or is this kind of a weird season?
So if you live down like in the central or southern part of the state, it is kind of expected, to have tornadoes. Parts of northern Illinois, it depends where you are. Like in our area, I probably have said this before, but if there's a tornado or a series of tornadoes, we usually will get them right by about 3 miles north to 3 miles south. There's usually at least about one every 10 years that comes by this area. So you can imagine that
back to back. Yeah.
Yeah. It's like we are kind of prepared, but at the same time we're not, but we still take the warning seriously. But I think the one area that takes it more serious than anywhere else is Southern Illinois, because that was where the tri-state tornado of 1925 occurred. So since then, over the last 100 years, that's actually where, believe it or not, when you think of storm shelters, people think it all came from like Nebraska, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Texas. It actually wasn't. It was from Southern Illinois that inspired more storm shelters to be built, because that was the deadliest tornado in U.S. history.
Well, Sean just said that one of the news helicopters got hit by a big hailstone.
Oh, really?
It is. We're supposed to be getting rain starting at about 2 in the morning and lasting until right around noon, our time.
Sean is the only one that got it.
I did not even see that.
You did kudos, Sean.
God damn it, Sean.
He pays attention to see, that's what we do. We see who pays attention to details. As Adrian's still sitting there. What?
No, I saw it.
Now she sees it all. It doesn't even faze her anymore.
Is this the new name you were talking about, Jeremy?
What's that?
Is this the new person?
That was me.
I think that's Lee. Yeah, that's Lee Butcher.
Oh, I thought you were talking about something else.
It's crazy how much lighting is in these storms. It was crazy how much paranormal activity friends of mine had in other locations.
And we had that situation Friday and Saturday to where I was driving. I don't think it was this Friday, but I think last Friday I was driving home to the other house, and it looked like lightning was about to hit any house any moment, because it was just kept on. And I had an investigation. It was this past Friday, because I had an investigation Saturday, and we had storms rolling into like 3 a.m. woke everybody up. And of course, it was a private location, and the homeowners called and said, "Oh, I think with the storms we need to cancel." I'm like, "No," but they did. They canceled. But I was like, no, I want to go.
Most of them don't understand that the rain can amp up the activity.
Yeah,
Yep.
'cause, I mean, it was lightning. I mean, like, there is no way that somebody did not get hit with lightning. It was so far.
Wow.
I mean, when I was down in Alton, Illinois, we had again another tornado warning that came through. But after the storm had left, like when it went on the other side of like the Mississippi River, it was just like a constant, like it was like a fireworks show. There was so much lightning that was going on, and it almost appeared like the storm was like stationary. And we were investigating the Mineral Springs Hotel in Alton, and the activity we got was absolutely nuts. We actually got a full body apparition. Well, we didn't capture it, but we did see it, which actually later became the guy Mike Ricksecker I told you guys. He actually wrote in one of his books. So that story is in a book now.
I don't think I have ever had an investigation that was in the middle of a storm.
I've
You'd be
had them right
surprised.
after, but I mean, I think I have had some that was in the middle of a storm, but it was not one like it was the other day. Those are different.
Yeah.
What about you, Adrian? Have you had one in the storm?
Oh yeah, yeah. And if we do the one this weekend that we're supposed to be doing with Mimi, it's gonna be. But this one, I sent you the pictures of that one. It's I'm not looking forward to that one.
I'm trying to remember which one that
The
is.
guy, the one with the mirrors and the apparitions and the mirrors and going up
that
the
one.
stairs and yeah.
You send me so much stuff. I have a heart.
You don't send me anything.
You'd look at it and go, "You dumb bitch! What do you think it is?"
I do that regardless. Oh, but I don't say the what do you think it is, but I do the first half of that sentence all the time.
Oh,
No, I try to send it to the team and have everybody look at it and everybody's opinion because it's just me and Zach, here. And then we have, of course, I go with Mimi quite often, but still it's just Mimi and I.
so no, so no one else is going with you guys, or
I'm actually helping Mimi on an investigation this time.
Okay, this is weird. All right, so real quick change of subjects here. I turned my profile into one of the digital creator ones that a lot of people have been having, and I turned on the stars for my profile, and going live to the Universal page, it's put the stars on that one through my profile, which I didn't realize that it would do. I thought
They've
it would
changed a lot.
Yeah, they have. I thought it would only do that on my profile. I didn't realize it was going to do that on the Universal page as well.
Sweet 24. Who?
Me.
just
Eileen.
knows Eileen. No, it's just the sweet part is just the 24.
Hi, Ed.
Yes.
Oh, hi, Ed.
Eileen. Hello, Ed.
Welcome to the Nut House.
So so kind of back to the subject a little bit, Nick, if you are able to, how do you separate work, life, paranormal?
Honestly, there are times I can't separate it, but like if I'm at work or something, like if there's some kind of message that needs to be sent, I'll usually send it like right after work, like right before I get started, and then I just focus completely on work. So, but as far as like kind of giving that balance, and yes, by the way, I did see what you wrote on your name, by the way. Almost lost my train of thought there for a second. But yeah, I mean, I do keep a balance to try to keep things separate because, some people have actually asked me, saying, I'm always so entangled with the paranormal field and all these groups and networks and investigations someone once asked, say, well, what is it like when it's just like for example, me and my friends or my family, when it's just me and them, I'm just Nick at that point. I'm not Nick Muley, the paranormal investigator, or who do all these shows. I'm not looked that way, and I'm fine with that. So I do establish some type of easy, like I said, for example, that's why, for example, that unless I have to go somewhere, like whether it's an investigation, a trip, or a Paracon, that's when I usually kind of take my break from the paranormal field, which is the weekends.
Yep.
Hey,
Now that
Adam,
it's getting
Adam's
warmer,
here.
me too, because I'm
Hefty.
going fishing. I'm going investigating these like mining towns that are abandoned. They call ghost towns. Yep. Hey, Rita.
Hey, Rita.
And ask away, Ed. That's what
Please.
this show's for.
You don't even have to ask. Just put it in there and we'll catch it when we
Yep.
shut our
Yep.
mouths for a minute.
If we shut our mouth.
We don't talk. We're not talkers. Can't you tell?
I just love that Adam's going back to my one of my other names, Nicopedia. I haven't heard that one in a long time.
Yeah, Nick
Yeah. So speaking of that,
more
I
too.
have been watching some crazy, like older shows on. Well, they're not older shows, but for you guys they would be. But they're
Nick.
more kind of like crime solving type things. But what I've noticed is they seem to align with some of the serial killers, and they haven't put it together or won't say it. There was one, the last one I watched today was I don't even remember what town. I'm half on a call and half looking at it. But
So we know how you don't balance work and life. So, but go ahead.
yeah, I try to pause it, but yeah, whatever. But
Yes, Adam.
there was they called them bog people, and there were 1,000-year-old bodies coming up out of this bog, perfectly petrified, except for maybe where the water had crushed their face. And we're looking at how they died and things like that. And they were aristocrats and gave their life because they thought the bog was like a portal to their heaven. So it was really weird, but they showed, it was called Autopsy, and they showed the bodies, and it was just so
with
weird.
that kind of concept, it makes me wonder, with the kind of beliefs that we have now, what kind of beliefs did they have then?
Right.
Like, what made them believe that by sacrificing themselves into the bog would send them somewhere else?
They were like giving themselves, kind of like in the Bible, they would do sacrificial things, like, people sacrifice their kids or lambs or whatever. It was the same kind of thing. They sacrificed themselves for
Almost sounds like some
everybody
type
else.
of, almost like, I mean, not necessarily, but almost like a cult type group.
Sean says, have either of you, which either of you are you asking?
Probably any of you.
The Pope's Exorcist. I have not seen it, but I want to see it. The
Me
trailer,
too.
fantastic.
Is that's a new movie coming out, right?
I think it's out now.
You do
Oh.
what? You
Is
do
that-
what?
Is that Adam saying that, or I'm not sure.
No, I think it's Lee, but
Lee. Yeah, and I just want to respond. I know this is Adam. Adam, yes. I'm just trying to finish up a couple more presentations, and as soon as I finish those up, I'll be getting right back to more audiobook stories. And I promise you, we are going to be getting to Nightmare Soup 3 soon.
how about instead of jumping into a bog, why don't you come
Oh, it's
down
not-
here or up here, wherever the case may be, and go with us to the Abbey? I think that sounds like a lot more fun than jumping into a bog and having your throat split.
The only problem is that Adam lives all the way out in New York, so it'd be kind of a far drive for
he's
him.
Let him
a New
fly.
Yorker.
Yep,
Fly.
see, he just said he's in New York.
Wait, what part of New York?
Adam,
Ed?
that doesn't matter. Road trip.
What
Yeah,
part of New York?
Adam, add with us.
You ain't
ride
got
with
nothing
us.
better to do.
Come
No,
on,
right.
Adam, ride with us. You can hang.
I gotta know what part
hang
of
out.
New York.
There-
Before
there
I
you
got,
go. to go
I got
along with that question, what else have you got going on, Adam? If you got nothing else going on, take a road trip. Come see everybody.
Okay, so
Yeah.
you're closer to like New York City and all that.
Capital region.
Oh, he's up.
Is that what that means? Or ooh,
He's
who's buying
buying
beers up
beers.
there?
You know, well, Jeremy, if you remember when we went to Wildwood, I actually gave Hefty a call because I was kind of wondering, since we're in New York, wonder how far Adam lives. So I gave Adam a call, but unfortunately, I found out he was still like, what, Adam, I think you were still like 2 hours away. So
It's not far.
unfortunately,
I
well,
think everything in New York is like 3 hours from anywhere. Like unless you're like right there.
3
But I think
hours from the city.
the furthest is 3 hours from anywhere if you're trying to get there, unless it's real close.
Oh, in New York City. When you're on one side of New York City, it takes you 3 hours to get to the other side of New York City. I know.
Because
You
my
know,
husband's from upstate New York. He's from Wellsville, outside of like Andover, Wellsville area, outside of Buffalo, between Buffalo and Rochester.
You know, it's
Go
kind
Bill.
of crazy. It's crazy when you go to a state like New York, because again, it's been like probably about 15 years since I've been to New York, up until last year. And, it's like for those that haven't been there, you always think of the Big Apple, New York City, all that. But when you go to like an area like where we went, I mean, outside of the city, it's like really rural and mountainous. It's like nothing but endless forests and mountains. And that's it.
I like it that way.
I like it too.
I like my small town that everyone knows everyone to an extent.
I do too.
But in the same, I don't think I could ever be. And even though I'm right here, even though I'm right here at the capital area, we don't have a true metropolitan. I mean, it just isn't like with all the other states. It's not like Dallas. When I tell you it takes 20 minutes to get somewhere, I mean 20 minutes to get somewhere. Whereas if you're in Dallas, it's 20 minutes down the road. It's going to take you 4 hours to get there.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah, because you don't have a
Just driving on the interstate to get from Dallas to Arlington and Fort Worth, it's like 90 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, not to mention look at all the traffic, like, because you hear something like obviously over here in Chicago, like we have, really bad traffic sometimes. So I can understand, Eileen, like where you're talking from, like down there, you guys don't have like huge, as I would probably say, like New York or Chicago style cities where you don't have all these highways and
I've driven through Chicago. I have driven through Chicago. Let me tell you this: you ain't got nothing on New York City. That is
Atlanta, though. Ooh, Atlanta.
Yeah, Atlanta is bad. We were, of course, I was really young, so we had a car that had no AC, and if it did, it was just blowing like warm air. And we were in a standstill. So the AC was trying to go and the car would try to die. And we didn't know if we had enough gas to even get, because we didn't know how long we'd be sitting there. So we had turned off. And it was like 110. I hate Atlanta because of that.
Was it 7 lanes one way when you were there?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Well, see, I know when we went through Atlanta, I was going to Paris Island from Mississippi. I left like at
I know where that is.
So we left at like 2 a.m. to try to get to Paris Island, and because it was going to be a Monday, and I was trying to beat the traffic and all that. It was Monday or Tuesday morning, I can't remember, but my GPS kept trying to take me through Atlanta. I was like, no. Every time I redid it, before I knew it, because I normally wasn't the driver back then, but I still really not. But it kept reroute me, and finally it took me through Atlanta, and it took me through Atlanta during every hour in Atlanta's rush hour, but during rush hour I was, and then on the way back it was midnight going back through, and it still was bumper to bumper.
Yeah.
Gee.
Oh,
I would rather drive in LA than Dallas or Atlanta.
I was willing to drive 5 hours. I was willing to drive 5 hours out of my way to try to avoid Atlanta.
Because you're going to be there 5 hours.
And in Dallas, my sister lives in Plano, just north of Dallas, Fort Worth. I think it's north. But anyway, so I try to go through Jefferson, Texas, and take the long way just to bypass Dallas. But gonna go through like McKinney and drop down. But sometimes I just can't because of other routes I'm going. And one day I just got my vehicle, and my nephew wasn't long getting his license. I threw my keys at him. I said, "No, we're going through Dallas. You're driving."
Not a new
Oh,
driver.
God.
No, he was used to the traffic. He was used. I mean, he was a new driver, but he drove through the traffic.
Mm-mm.
So I was like, and he did good. I was like, nope, I am not touching this traffic.
No.
One traffic that I'm not looking forward to is Salt Lake City. Their roads are just weaving every which direction you can. If you're not paying attention to the signs, you're gonna miss a turn somewhere.
Well, and also not to mention they're up in the mountains, so
Yeah.
I could see why they're always like twisting, curving all over the place.
Actually, Salt Lake City is right at the edge of the mountains, just like Denver is. As soon as you get out of the mountains, you're in Salt Lake City.
Oh, really?
That's where they start transitioning into the Salt Plains.
Oh, I thought they were like in the mountain areas. That's how I've always pictured it.
No, you're weaving back and forth through the mountains, and then you get into the city. Once you get out, and then that is where their roads is like a plate of spaghetti.
Yep.
Wow.
So that reminds me, you two, Nick, you're coming in August, right?
Yes. Oh,
Okay,
I gotta pay you. I don't know where I'm supposed to pay this at. So
Jeremy can give you the link. It's just my PayPal, and I'm going to give him the deposit so that we can hold our spot. But don't get a motel. We're going to have 2 bedrooms upstairs cleaned out by then because our son's moving away in July. And then we've got the basement too. So
I thought we were sleeping at the Abbey.
we are there, but I mean when you guys first come in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I know that we're not going to be able to stay when we're done with the investigation because I got Waverly almost right after that.
Yeah. We're going to be there. We got it for 2 nights. So we're going to be there at the sister house. And I didn't get to go in the sister house this last time we were there. I was in the dorms.
Okay.
And the dorms were pretty haunted themselves. So I can imagine what the sister house is going to be like. And that place, I can almost guarantee activity. That place is unreal.
yeah, I'm definitely interested. I mean, I'm actually looking, even though it's only April, I'm definitely looking forward to this.
Oh, me too.
It's gonna be
Nick, I just sent you Adrian's PayPal address.
okay, great.
Yeah.
Now,
I'll take PayPal.
For me, I had to have her send me a request, but hopefully it'll work for you. And the funny thing is, when she sent me the request, it's exactly what her email was. But for some reason, when I did a search for her, it didn't work.
It's crazy. I never use it, so it's crazy. I kept it all there just because I want to make sure I've got everything in there in case something happens and we have to do a refund and not do it. So I made sure that we had it in there because we have to like pay half now and then the other half later. So people have a little more time later, but I'm not playing that game of having to pay, $1,200 later.
Yeah, it can be a pain in the ass.
Yeah, you've been through that.
Do you have all the people that you need?
Not yet.
Okay.
We've got people that say they're going, but we're not. Until somebody pays, we're not going. The only spot I was keeping was Nick and Jan. That's it.
Okay. I know Jan's real excited about it. We were talking about
Oh my
that.
God.
Yeah.
That was
I'll just be glad to have her here close to me.
yeah.
Maybe, but she might not want to be close to you.
Oh, believe me, she does. Unlike you, she's my friend.
Unlike me, huh?
Yeah, you're mean. She's not.
Oh,
Hey, a sweetheart.
Wait, well, here's a real question though. Who's more meaner, Eileen or Brad?
I don't want to meet Brad.
She's already met me, so she's stuck.
If I meet Brad, he's going to meet his demise. So that's up to him.
speaking of Brad,
Hey, let's invite him. There's a cemetery like 10 feet away. We can have it happen.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Speaking of which, you just called. That'll get Brad's attention.
hopefully, I don't know if he's on or not.
I think he's working.
Well, it shows here that he's active. He was messaging me about an hour before the show started, showing me something that he was thinking about making.
He messaged me yesterday in terms of Perry Unity, the event later this year. And he had asked me about, how many of those books did you bring last year? All those scary stories tell in the dark and tribute books. And I said to him, 34. I was like, oh shit. Because I was like, what's up? He said he was going to make some book stands for me, but I don't think I'm going to be able to make 34. But when I said, well, actually make that 35, 36, because I actually just got some new tribute books that came in, which I'm super excited to read. And I was like, well,
Did
if
you
you're
get
going
the one
to,
that I sent you?
which one?
Did you get the one that I sent you last week?
I might have. Let me check.
I sent it to you during the show.
That was.
That wasn't last week. I was going to say the week before that. I don't know. He wouldn't remember nothing during the show because he was too busy laughing.
Was that
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say, was it that story Cigarette in the Sky, Jeremy?
Yep.
Okay, yeah, I did get that one. Okay.
Yeah, see, those things are my weekend reads.
Yeah, I mean, I got a few new ones that just came out. In fact, the guy that made these books, I actually tried messaging him. He lives here in Chicago, so he is the first Scary Stories tribute author that is known to kind of live in my area, because all the other authors that have made these books and that I've had contact with live in other states. So this was the first local one. And it's always exciting talking to these authors because, again, the original writer of the books, Alvin Schwartz, he passed away over 30 years ago, sadly. So the closest I could ever meet this guy are these tribute authors.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, with Brad, I just simply saying, well, I know I got so many of these books, but the only idea I came up with was, I said, well, you can at least make 3 to 5 of them for the original books that started it all.
And
Well, this one that I sent you, Nick, last week is actually based on a true story.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah. So when we go up to this place, we're going to take like the day before we go back to the investigation the second night and go to that jail. And I want to see if anybody else gets what Mimi and I got. They have the gas chamber outside. Now, mind you, it's been out for years. It's outside covered, and it shows the people that were killed in it. Okay. And Mimi's in
Far
there.
out is it?
Huh?
How far out is it?
5 minutes.
Oh.
Everything in that town is like 5 minutes. All the restaurants, everything. But it was so strange. And we're getting food. We're going to cook at the house. We're just going to cook for everybody and just have snacks there to take with us, all of that.
Oh, Nick, you're going to be eating real good at her house.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
I can tell you from personal experience.
We like food.
See, I've actually been starting to exercise again, so I
Me
better.
too. I got a personal trainer 2 weeks ago. This is
uh-oh.
week 2. My ass cannot walk down the stairs. I'm telling you. Like, I was walking out of the gym. He didn't make me do anything that, like, it'll make you shake, but not like painful.
Yeah.
I went to walk outside and I thought, I'm going to fall. Like, I can't feel my legs. And then for the next 4 days, I could not walk down the stairs. Like,
wow.
I really had to hang on to walk down the stair. I thought, this isn't normal. And I was still sore when I went back yesterday. And she had me doing all that. And I'm like, I cannot do this. And I pushed through that pain. And today it's much better. And
the first couple of days are usually the hardest.
That's what's going to happen to me right after I'm done, because when I get off after this, I'm actually going to be doing the stair stepper. It's been a long time since I've used it.
I haven't done a stair stepper in a long time.
I know it's going to hurt, but I'm
those
ready.
did not hurt me. This was using your own body weight. And like, instead of doing push-ups on the ground, she was like, how many can you do? I'm like, how many years ago? And so they have these, like, they're not bands, but they're like, I don't know, cords. And you just step way back and then pull yourself up and back. And I can still feel that, which means it's working. It's great. I'm paying for it, so it better work. But this place has a pool. We go in at 5 a.m. and I do my 1 hour on Wednesdays with my trainer. The rest of the time, him and I just walk on the treadmill. He goes and plays racquetball, and I'll do whatever. But
Actually,
just your own weight.
the pool is very, very good for you.
Oh, Mom
What is-
gets in the pool. I go with her because she can't do exercises because they've pulled all of her bones out of her feet. Like, she has no
Ooh.
toe bones.
Yikes.
So she can't balance to do exercises.
How does
And-
that work?
So her and I go in the pool.
See, we actually, wow. I was going to
Bike
say,
rides, yes, Sean.
yeah, that's what, you know what? I do the
That'd kill
same
me.
thing. I do that too. I do the
That
long
would kill
walks
me.
and bike rides. And furthermore, we too have a swimming pool as well. So
Yeah.
we do some of the exercising there as well.
And see, that's the thing though. You when you sit and work all day, like I work 10-hour days for 4 days a week. I'm off on Fridays, which I will go to the gym. But when you sit for 10 hours a day and just get up to go get your dinner and go back up,
Oh gosh.
your legs and your bottom half like atrophy. Like it's
they're just-
bad.
You just
That's
feel
how
it's
it
like,
is. It hurts.
speaking of Brad,
That's why I said, oh no.
Finally made it.
Well,
Hey,
one thing I
Brad.
do want to let
Brad.
everybody know.
You want to come to Canyon City with us?
hey, Eric, you can train me in martial arts. I can lose weight. I can make you lose weight fast doing that.
What? Yes, it will. It works every muscle in your body.
So does the insanity program.
Yeah, that's no.
no, Brad's like,
That-
Well,
no,
not Brad. There's a cemetery like 10 feet away.
too far away. He says.
You want to go visit the
I'm
cemetery?
going.
Yeah, ride with Jeremy.
Yeah, ride with us. I'm riding with Jeremy.
See,
Yeah, but we're riding with Scott and Tammy, so that's going to be a full truck.
Yeah.
and we won't have to worry about your ride back.
Right, you and I could sit in the back and talk about that whole book thing from what we were talking about yesterday.
Yeah, you can, and get everything out you need to before you get there.
So one
That's
thing
I'm going to
I
be
do
on
want
my laptop doing the ride over.
One thing I
Feedback.
do want to say is like missing last week. I do want everybody to know I'm getting into my busy season at work. So there are going to be times because when the AC start going out and things like that, calls start coming in like crazy. So if I do ever have to say, hey, I got to go or I can't make it, just know I'm in my busy season right now.
Okay, and that's what happened last week too, wasn't it?
Yep. I got called in.
Can he bring his ghost army? What is he
You
talking
can
about?
bring any
What is
ghost
that?
you want.
Well, Brad has printed off like these little ghost things, like 20 or 30 of them, and he sent me a picture. I don't know what they're for, but it looks like those terracotta things over there that they have in China.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
That's sort of what they look like. The way that he's got them stacked together, it looks like he's building an army. It's really
He's gonna need it.
Wait, he can carry them in his bag. And Adrian, when you're around, he can just chuck them out at you. Go away.
He can try.
I can picture that already right now. Get away! Get away!
And I will stack those all around his fresh dug grave.
kind of like a funeral of some sort.
That's it, because that's the only funeral he's going to get till they find him.
It'll be one of those empty caskets.
Yeah.
Here it is.
Oh, those
Oh,
things.
man.
You know, they look like you know who actually makes something like that is I told you, Mike Ricksecker. He makes something very they're like plushies almost, but he calls his ghosties. I have one of those.
These actually look like the Charlie Brown kids in
Yeah. It kind of does. The Charlie Brown ghost, yeah. Ninja Star ghosts, as Eric called them.
There you go.
You know, I actually just realized, I think this might be, Eric, correct me if I'm wrong. I think this is his first time watching this, because he usually watches a lot of the shows from Simply Spooky Network. So nice to see you here on this show too, Eric.
I've seen him on a lot of different shows.
He's been a big supporter with a lot of shows. You know, much like what we're seeing with Lauren, for example. She's like all over the place. So it's always nice to have a lot of those loyal followers for different shows.
Okay, since went out.
Yeah, he's usually in bed by now.
I don't know. It's 6:50. What time is it where you're at?
It's almost 7:54. It's almost 8 o'clock.
It's almost 9 for me.
Yeah, I had to call Jill into this too. I saw that.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to figure out what Brad is at.
Well,
Brad
Brad's-
just came in.
He just came in. He just commented about 2 minutes ago, like,
Oh, do you
saying,
mean
showing
where
the picture.
you mean where he's showing, where he's watching from?
Well, his name's coming up, so he's in the right place.
Well,
Unfortunately.
I'm really hating the desktop version of Facebook because I have to hit
Yeah,
the
he's here.
refresh button. Well, no, Brad, I'm just trying to figure out where you are.
Hey, Jennifer.
Hey, Jen.
Oh, hey, Jennifer.
Oh,
See ya.
Jennifer, I need to talk to you because in 6 weeks, 6 weeks, road trip. I'm coming west.
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so I think she's going with us too.
Eric's got to get up in August.
Yeah.
Eric, you got to
Okay,
get up at 1.
Now I see, Brad.
Eric, you got to get up at 1:30 in the morning. Is that like what? Do you have to start work?
Eric, no. Hell no. No way.
You know who also does this too, by the way? You know, like who also gets up early that I know? Believe it or not, is Don. Because he works for like this, I don't know if it's like a warehouse. Don would obviously explain this better than I could.
Just have it.
But he's, just have it.
Oh, crap. No.
Yeah, like Don in his case, he's,
In the morning, I'm in bed reading a book before I go to sleep.
yeah, Don, I mean, for him,
Okay,
he's
y'all got to quit talking about bed.
no.
You're killing me here.
You look like you're about ready to go to bed now.
That's what I'm saying. I don't think I can make the whole 2 hours because I didn't get to eat before I came down. And then, oh, my eyes are,
Why don't
So-
you do what Adrian does? Eat on the show.
because it was still cooking.
Oh,
Well, it's not now.
I don't
Yeah,
know. That's that way.
Yeah, but
well,
Don,
tell
like
him
in
to
his,
pick you a plate of it and bring it to you.
But now my feet are so sore. I have to walk the property and I wear heels. So I have to go up and down stairs and all that. So my feet are killing me today.
Why
Well, I
are you
think this-
wearing heels?
yeah, take him
'Cause I have
off.
to- I have to dress professionally.
Oh, damn it. I was going to say, I
That's
thought that was.
professional.
Professional.
I was going to say, I thought what that skull dress, I thought that was like your PJs or something.
It is a shirt.
That's not professional.
You know what? When it comes to dressing up, I don't care. I'm dressing for comfort.
Hey, look what I'm
Yeah.
wearing right now. Just a normal shirt with stripes on it.
Mine says Colorado. I had
This
it.
is the time I threw on when I got home.
Wear the flats.
It doesn't help. It is still just too much walking in dress shoes.
But yeah, like I was saying with Don, like with his job, he has to get up at like around 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning, 4 o'clock sometimes. I mean, it's like,
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's a good paying job for him, and he actually it's owned by his uncle. But you know, honestly, I don't know how he does it. I really don't. So I
Yeah.
could never do that.
The dogs get Zach up like that too.
Well, I say my cats wake us up every now and then and again.
Yeah,
See, it's
they don't wake me up. They know I'm gonna smack their nose. They're not gonna come stick their cold nose on my back.
yeah. I mean, it's just
Brad just sent me a new picture with the ghosties. Yeah, they are like the Charlie Brown kids. You got the little legs sticking out.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I was actually just watching the Easter special of Charlie Brown just a few days ago, but we always watch the Halloween one every year. We watch all the holiday special ones.
Yeah, that's right. They do have actually. Don't they have 2 Easter?
So
specials?
there's really only one, but they pair them up with spring related ones. So like with the ones we watch, like they'll show like it's the Easter Beagle first, then it's Charlie Brown All Stars, which was the second animated one that was made back in the 60s, and then it's Arbor Day Charlie Brown, and more recently they've been showing another one from the late 70s called You're the Greatest Charlie Brown.
Yeah.
So there's 4. I'm telling you right now, like since the Christmas one has been made, there's been so many, and especially like during like the holiday Christmas season, there are so many Christmas ones. We basically have like a whole marathon of it now.
About 10 or 15 years ago, they were actually releasing DVD collections of their specials. One of them
Mhm.
was all the specials that they made in the 60s,
Yep.
and the other one was all the ones that they made in the 70s.
Right. Yeah, they made so many of them, and then just recently, see, everyone always thinks that the Charlie Brown Christmas one was the first one, and in fact, it was. But they actually made a different special 2 years ago, 2 years prior in 1963. That was called A Boy Named Charlie Brown, which actually is a documentary, but it has like animated segments. And in
A Boy
spite of
Named
the
Charlie Brown, I thought that
Boy-
was the first movie.
it became a movie eventually, but they made a documentary that was called that same name in 63, and it was just like a 20-25 minute documentary. Again, there are animated segments, but the reason why not too many people know about it is although it was made, it was never released to television, so it was like locked up for like 50 years, and it really wasn't until like about 2 years ago literally that they finally released it publicly. Up until then, anyone who knew about this documentary, it was only ever featured like in other documentaries, like clips or segments of it. Now everybody can see the full thing. You can find it on YouTube, I think.
I really enjoyed the 2 movies that they made. I think the first one, Boy Named Charlie Brown, is where they did that spelling bee.
Yep.
And then the other one, they went to like some plantation that caught fire later on in the movie.
Bon Voyage, Charlie Brown in Germany. Yeah. And then they, of course, made the new one a few years back, the Peanuts movie.
Well, you know which one I'm waiting on them to make.
I know where you're going with this.
Yep. Charlie Brown Snaps.
God damn it.
Okay, Adrian, Eileen, let me run this through you. Would Charlie Brown not be a perfect candidate for all the shit that he goes through, would he not be the perfect candidate to be a serial killer and start killing all the others? Lucy, Linus, Sally, not Sally, but all the others, because they have made fun of him all his life. Would he not be the perfect candidate to snap and start killing people?
I don't think they made him as a serial killer.
Listen, I'm agreeing with you. You can't do Charlie Brown like that.
Yeah, see, even Eileen's with me on this.
About Winnie the Pooh, and they still made him a killer.
Oh no, Lucy, on the other hand, she might.
Oh. I gotta do.
Now you got this. Now you got this in my head.
Okay, so I gotta show you something, Jeremy.
You.
Come here, you two.
No, actually, Jennifer, I need to find out from you if you still wanted to try to. I think it was that prison that you were talking about when I come through. So let me know. But now that we're doing this thing in August, maybe not. But let me know.
Oh man, where the hell is it? There was actually something I was going to send you, Jeremy, because it's actually in regards to what we're talking about, but I can't seem to find the damn thing. Where the hell is it?
Well, how dare you not be able to find it?
I'm still looking.
Guys, I'm really probably not gonna be able to stay on much longer. I am like super, and I wasn't really. It's just like it just hit me. I'm like,
Sometimes it happens.
It's called the work life.
I think there's a balance: work, life, paranormal. I think Jeremy just bored me to death.
I think I scared her with my Charlie Brown theory.
That's what it is.
That Charlie Brown theory was a little demented. Charlie Brown is going to become a serial killer.
No, he's not. Don't say that.
No. Jeremy said, think about it. All the times his whole life he's been made fun of by Lucy, Linus, all of them. So,
best friend's a dog, talks to animals.
Snoopy's cool.
Mutilate them.
Snoopy and what stuck is cool.
I guess they made something out of Winnie the Pooh being a killer.
Yeah, they did.
He goes around with no pants on.
He's a block.
So does Barney.
Barney is a serial killer.
The Blockhead Murders. That's
the Blockhead Murders. Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
I'm surprised they have not made that like an actual like movie or like an actual murder case.
Let's not
When you think about
all
it,
of
you could
everybody's
be a
childhood.
that.
Wait till all of us that had that in our childhood are dead.
We were just talking about these kid shows when we were growing up versus the kid shows now. Because the kid shows when we were growing up, really, now you had screen time. You didn't like stare at a screen 24/7.
Nope.
And like my granddaughter, she'll have television, have a cell phone there, and have a tablet there. And I'm like, that's way too much. But
Yeah.
But kids are different nowadays. But
Yes.
like we had what was his name? The Count on Sesame Street.
Sesame Street.
Dracula.
You had all these things that taught you things.
Yeah.
Now these kids shows, they're just all just shows.
Okay,
Yep,
but
they
let's
are.
think about this. We're repeating history because all the nursery rhymes, if you look at the history behind the nursery rhymes, they're all very morbid, nasty
They are.
things.
But I'm talking about it's no different than having a kid turn on, just any show on television. And that's exactly, it's just got children on it instead of our cartoon characters. But there is no learning anymore.
Nope.
No.
And
Well,
kids are addicted to the screens now.
There
and they
is.
are.
there is learning. My daughter only lets my grandbaby listen to like Cocomelon. I think
Yeah,
What?
but that one's not.
I remember Coco Melon. That was something that Sydney talked about.
Oh, Eric. Oh my God.
One.
Know what he's talking
What?
about.
Two.
Going there.
3.
You know,
I am not-
no, I know what it is. He's referring to another children's show, and that was actually one I grew up with.
Which one was
So-
that? The Wiggles?
No, it was Teletubbies.
That was in my next one, but I'm trying to remember because
Those
my
things are
son,
scary as hell.
You
when
know,
my son was 3, he went Halloween with as what was the purple one?
oh, Tinky Winky,
Bunny.
that's what it was.
Tinky Winky,
Yeah,
yeah.
you know what? I can kind of relate to that because when I was very young, I was the red one. Oh,
Yeah, we had now like I said, at least Barney did teach a little
watched
bit,
Barney
but
growing
at the
up.
same time,
Yeah.
I threatened my daughter with if my granddaughter doesn't start watching learning shows, if she's gonna watch TV, I'm gonna throw on some Barney and she gets to hear the song 24 million times a day.
Yeah.
You know what? I loved
That-
Barney growing up. I'm not going to deny I did.
Barney
I was one of
needed
them.
to be shot. As the
You know what?
parent, as the parent, I got sick of Barney. Because
Eileen,
remember back then, you didn't pop in a DVD player. You had to go rewind the tape. So you had to have another one ready and put it in the race car tape rewinder.
Eileen,
Tape
let me give you
rewinder? No.
paper rewinder.
No.
Yes.
Eileen, here's some advice. You may want to shoot him now because you know what? I don't know if you guys know, they brought Barney back, and oh my God, he's worse. No, it's bad. He is bad because
I heard it was hideous.
because for starters, first off, it's not like what they did back in the late 80s and 90s. It's not a guy in a costume anymore. Of course it's CGI, and it is bad. I looked at the first one, I'm like, oh God, burn it, send it to hell.
Well, when you think about a lot of the CGI in the kids shows today, the CGI sucks.
Yeah, it does.
Oh, thanks, Sean. Now I've got who's clues? Who's clues?
Don't even start.
Isn't it better than I love you, you
Oh my
love
God,
me?
yes.
You know
Thank
what
you.
other-
We just got a letter. We just got a letter.
You know, I will actually admit, I mean, with the shows that I grew up on too, there was actually something really significant to several of these shows. Because another show I grew up with, undoubtedly, and this is a show that's still going, though I think, in my opinion, it's terrible now too. I was, of course, a Thomas and Friends fan. You know,
Now I
growing
like
up.
Thomas and Friends.
But,
Well, my
but
kids
you know
like-
it was really cool. Again, it wasn't just Thomas though. There were a few other shows. Again, this is what made a lot of these children's shows of the late 80s, 90s, and early 2000s significant, was that for some reason whatsoever, it brought in a lot of former, like if it was a narrator or a host of the show, they were formerly members of like classic successful bands from like the 1960s. So like when they first started, like with Thomas, because it was a show from the UK when it first started. It was narrated by Ringo Starr. And then when it got over to over shores to the US, it was narrated by George Carlin. There was another show that was similar that was called Theodore Tugboat, which I don't remember who the guy's name was, but the guy who hosted and narrated, he was formerly a member of the Mamas and the Papas. So for some reason, all these bands from like former members of bands from the 60s were doing these kids shows. And I often wondered why. I mean, I thought maybe they just needed the job. I don't know what it was, but they did a really great job during that era.
That was a big thing during that time because when you look at all the Scooby-Doo cartoons from the 60s, nearly every episode had a song from a very popular band at that time.
Yep. You don't see that anymore. So it's like, even when I look at them now, it's like, because I'm not going to lie. I mean, there's been other people like me who've looked at this stuff. I mean, yes, they're intended for kids, but who's going to be watching in this day and age? So to us who grew up with it, now we look at them as classics because of all these big name stars that took part in it.
I don't think we're going to get into classics.
When
See, I grew up
you look at the cartoons that we all grew up with, everything was original at the time.
Yeah.
So it was good. The
Do you
stuff
know how
that-
many generations are here?
I grew up with Fraggle
Yeah.
Rock and I think everybody grew up with Sesame Street.
Well,
Sesame
yeah.
Street, Fraggle Rock, And what
Dragon
else was out
Rockets,
there then?
yeah.
I'm waiting for one big one to see if you're going to say it.
Well, I had the Mickey Mouse Club and all that. But what was the other one? Of course, Mr. Rogers.
There you
Oh,
go.
yep, there we go.
There you go.
Yeah, I grew up with that too.
Beautiful
They
day.
did a documentary on him that
Yes,
his wife
Tom-
did.
I
Tom
saw
Hanks
that.
is in it, I believe. Is that
No,
the
no,
one?
no. This was just his
No,
wife
this is
doing
the
a
movie.
documentary on. I don't remember if it was on HBO Max or if it was on
He
whatever.
was not creepy, Sean. What the hell are you talking
No,
about?
he was not. He actually genuinely loved kids, and they showed him in a documentary on dementia. And he was standing there, and he got up out of his bed, and he was like, "It's time for my show. It's time for my show. The kids can't miss this." And in his dementia state, that's what he was doing. So they would lay him down in his bed and tell him, "Look, the show got canceled for today. Somebody was sick,
Oh, okay.
so
All right then, Sean.
let's do this."
Well, see, but I mean, all those shows taught you something, whether it was sharing, whether it was, be nice to somebody. But
Yeah.
now I agree with Eric. Kids don't know what it's like. I mean, ramping your bike, and no, please don't do this if anybody has kids, but ramping your bike off a roof. Having someone build a bike, I was a tomboy, bike ramp that you ramped your bike on that. Just going out and playing. My backyard was the baseball backyard because my trees were perfectly lined up to be bases. My across the street was the basketball. Next door was the music house. I had the organ, they had the drums and all that. Down the road was something else. The middle of the road was football, and then hide and seek was the whole neighborhood.
Well, and then we used to roll people, those metal barrels. We used to roll them down the hill. They'd get in and we'd roll them.
Next to my house, my next door
Barrels
neighbor,
and tires. And
her
tires.
her yard was like this much higher than mine, so we used to lay it and roll down it. But I had a strawberry shortcake bicycle. It was right when I was going in between training wheels and not training wheels, and it wouldn't go or something. So we get it and make it spin in the back. I love my strawberry shortcake. And the little doll, you would press it and
Kick the
smell of
can.
strawberry.
I'm not that old, Sean. I never played that.
But then, you did. You got out with your parents in the garden. You
Hell yes, you did.
Yeah,
It
and it was normally like 6 o'clock in the morning because my mom was the worst.
Yep.
My mom was the type that got up like 4:30, 5:30 in the morning.
Yep.
It didn't matter what day it was, but most of the time it was around 4:30. And she would let me sleep in on Saturday till about 6. And she'd come in there, wake me up, and realize that wasn't working. So what she started doing, she started vacuuming the hallway, and it would keep hitting my door where I'd open the door. It's like, "Mom, what are you doing?" She goes, "Oh, I am so sorry. Did I wake you?" Well, since you're up, let's get to cleaning.
Oh, Jeremy, I wanted to show this to you guys. So this was actually I found, and Eileen, if it makes you happy, I found what I was looking for. So check this out. Check this out, Jeremy. So you talk about Charlie Brown being a killer all the time, right? Well, check this out.
No.
Ooh.
Scary story style.
I'm liking this.
I could not find a full picture of it, so I had to go on an Etsy page to find it. But this is by the
Can you go to the next screen?
let me see. It only has like three pictures. It just shows some of the illustrate. Yeah, this is just a stack of the books then. Which unfortunately,
that second there looks really cool. I like that one.
this is by the same illustrator that had illustrate some of the books I got. I was planning on getting this, but unfortunately, it's no longer in the cart. So I was really disappointed I couldn't get this.
So there you go. Back in 2015, somebody also thought that Charlie Brown would be a killer.
That was probably you.
I am telling you, the Blockhead Murders is going to be a big hit.
Hey guys, I'm fixing to jet out of here because I am like sweating up a storm in here, and it's about to put me, and I'm about to go sleep. But I love y'all, and thank y'all for putting up with my yawny butt.
Good night. Get some
Good night,
rest.
Eileen.
The Scully T-shirt.
Oh, Eileen, I forgot to tell you. I don't know if I'm sure some of you guys don't know this already, but did you know my show's now on David's network, partnered up with David.
David,
I saw David
Chalmers.
the other day.
I didn't know he had a network.
It's Haunted
Yeah,
Network.
it's Haunted Network.
Oh, okay.
But yeah,
Yeah.
I saw him the other day.
That's not networks now. You only have enough space for.
Well, because
did that go into the one that the Para Unity one was?
that one wasn't working, so I decided up until whatever's going on with that, I decided to give it a shot for its Haunted Network. So that's now the 8th spot.
Well,
Okay.
see,
Because
we-
you had it listed as 9, and I'm thinking, how does that work?
Well, and also too, you can also make them as pre-recorded videos, and also you can just send a link to that page. So that's how I also did it too.
well, I saw David a couple of weekends ago, and we did shed a few tears.
Rich.
His dad is supposed to be getting. I can see that, Rich. His dad's supposed to be getting me some like baby pictures as far back as he can go, and I think that's why he's got all those little high school photos coming out, because I guess I'm wondering if his dad went through them.
You
But
know,
his dad's,
he did not
his
look-
dad, I love his daddy.
I didn't see those photos.
I'll be honest.
Man.
I'll be honest with you, Eileen. I first saw when you said baby pictures, I actually first thought you were going to say baby pills.
Well, we did. We saw each other, and I miss that man so much. That's my brother. Even my husband was like, he was sitting there with us. He goes, I think I need to give y'all a few minutes. I'm walking outside because I mean, David and I are just David and I.
Away from the bottom of the staircases.
I was about to ask him that. You didn't make him
Then I had
trip
to
to
pick
fall down
on
the
him.
stairs, right?
Then I had to pick on him a lot, you know how I do. But I got to see Big Daddy, and Big Daddy got on to me because I was supposed to be going. That's his daddy. Was supposed to be going to go visit him more often than I do, but I haven't gotten out to Vicksburg in a minute, which is only like 45 minutes. But so I had to promise Big Daddy I'd come by and see him. You know, he got to spend time with his grandbaby when he was in town, so that was good because his daughter just
Awesome.
recently got married.
She's
That's
that
awesome.
old now.
Yeah, I forget how old she is now.
Damn.
She's like
No, just
18, 19, 20.
No, he was
God.
posting those wedding pictures.
Yeah.
I don't see a lot of things anymore since I'm working 10-hour days. I just don't see them.
But yeah, it was really good, Sam. I know I messaged you guys, guess who I'm gonna go see? Who am I going to see? But I couldn't tell anybody he was in town until he released he was in town.
Yeah.
I try to, that's his private business.
Yeah.
And of course, then he released why he was in town, but everything worked out in his favor. So that's good.
I didn't see that either.
Yeah. So, all right. I love y'all. As Rick says, I'm not going to get out of here. So I am getting out of here. So I love y'all. Goodbye.
Love
Good
you.
night.
Good night.
Have a good night.
Love you.
I am really looking forward to the Abbey.
Yes, me
Yeah,
too.
I am too. I have never seen a place. Well, we all hear about smells. Oh yeah, there's this smell. Whatever. No, this was nasty. This was gross. No, I'm not going downstairs by myself.
You were going to be sleeping with that smell?
No, because that's in the actual Abbey. We're in another house on the property.
Okay.
And I just realized too, if Jennifer's going, this will be my first time meeting her.
Okay,
in
good.
person.
I thought she was, and we haven't confirmed. But yeah. I gotta get shit. What I've told everybody is we got to get everything in by the end of the month, and then I can make that down payment on it, and then we can figure out who else is going, and we can be very selective about who's going, because we don't want a bunch of people out there that we don't know.
Right.
And we don't know what they'll do, what they'll say, what evidence they will screw up. But this guy's got like cameras all over the place, but they have no audio. So he'll narrate they're going down here because we talked to him. He's awesome. His name's Dennis. And we'll talk to him and tell him, yeah, we're going to go down here and we'll come in and talk, and he'll introduce us on Twitch. But, you know, he's not, the way he says it, he has an understanding with the spirits there and they protect him. And I'm telling you, this man has no fear. When we were telling him what happened, he went down by himself. I'm like, you've lost your damn mind, because no, if something smells like that and it showed itself and looked somebody in the eyes, there's things I'm just not willing to do. Spirits I will deal with all day. That I'm not dealing with.
Jennifer's going to the basement.
She knows what happened. Yeah.
So that's Friday night, Saturday night. If we wanted to, we can actually go live.
Yeah.
Yeah, we can. And everybody said, or he told us when we first started, that the only place you can really go live is upstairs. Well, you guys know I went clear down the basement live.
Right.
And I didn't have much battery because I didn't think you could, because he said you couldn't. And I got it through the whole thing.
Now you know.
Yeah. So whether it was a fluke, I don't know. But him telling the history is amazing. And then it was right before we left, we started smelling, I think it was like flowers, something. I don't remember what it was. We smelled cinnamon, which is to be expected there, because I don't know what all they put in those little, I don't even know what they call them, but they're those little things that priests burn and then just kind of wave around.
That's burning incense.
It's incense, but it's like, I don't remember what all they put in it.
It's
like cinnamon.
I actually have one of those. I'm trying to remember the name myself. Oh my God, Eric! Again, don't forget to bring my flashlight.
That's no joke.
Well, no, he's
no joke.
He's actually
that reference.
He's referring to the investigation that I had last Friday at Robinson Woods.
We need a flashlight there. I guarantee that.
Yeah.
There's no lights, but it was really neat because we got to smell that. It was like a cinnamon smell. And he said, okay, that's normal here. And that's the only thing he told us. He didn't give us any clues on what had happened previously, nothing. And he said, just let me know if you smell anything or if anything happens, and I can tell you if it's happened before or kind of, he's trying to build this story kind of like Ernie does. Ernie and Denise do with Waverly. He's trying to do that. So he knows most of the history, but there was something happened right before we got there. Well, a couple of weeks before we got there, there was an exorcism done in that church. And I guess,
about that.
Yeah, I guess from what I understand, they tried to get it out of there because it stayed. And somebody ended up leaving and going to the bathroom.
Frankincense. That's
followed
what it is.
Yes, thank you. Does that have, frankincense does not have cinnamon in it. So I'm not sure. But we smelled flowers and we told him about it. And he said, that's kind of strange because I don't remember how long it was, 2-3 months before we got there. People were coming up and there was a vehicle accident and a lady died, like her car burned up. But the people that were actually going to the Abbey to investigate were there. And they tried to help this woman. And they heard her dying screams while she was burning in that car.
Oh, my God.
And they tried to help her, but they couldn't. The car exploded or whatever it did. It caught on fire where they couldn't get her. They said that woman followed them up to the Abbey and met the kids that were up on the top floor. And this is what a psychic told them. They went up to the top floor. She went to the top floor and got attached to the kids and said, I can't leave because these kids need me.
Now,
So
we're not going to have any kids there with us, are we?
Any what?
We're not going to have any kids with us, are we?
Oh, no. No. No, this was, It's a really sad story that she's stuck there, but she feels like she has a job to do. So I guess that's good. But we smelled the flowers from her, and he told us that story, but he didn't tell us any stories until we told him that. And then at the end of the night, he ended up telling us, certain stories. And there's one guy who, a monk, and I've got pictures of his grave. He committed suicide because he was messing with little boys, and the police were coming to get him. He took like a vacuum hose and put it on his muffler and then put it around in his vehicle. By the time the police got there, he was gone. He was a Chinese monk. He's buried out there, but there's another one, and we're not sure if it's him or someone else, but they were in the other house they call the spooky house, which it's really only Halloween attractions, but that house is really spooky. I kind of looked at it, but I didn't go in.
And
You have access to that too.
is that the one we're going to be sleeping in?
No, we're sleeping in the nun's house.
So how many different buildings are on this property?
4.
4 of them.
Yep. The Abbey, which you've seen pictures of, is huge. Then there's the sister house, which is the nun's house. And then there's it's dorms for college students who are really actually college students right now there. And then there's the spooky house, which is Halloween attractions, and it's set up for Halloween, but people can go through it all they want.
It's just like at Waverly where they have that haunted house walkthrough area.
Yep. Are we all sleeping? Yes, Jennifer, we are. We plan on cooking food there and just, not having to go to the restaurants. We do plan on going to the jail, which I would love for you to go with me, Jen. Which I didn't finish that story. That gas chamber, it was so weird. I usually don't pick up on things like this, but I touched that gas chamber, just looking at it. I was leaning in and not even touching it. You walk in and you feel like you're dizzy. You can't breathe, like you're being gassed. And I thought, okay, when I get away, it's going to be gone. No. It followed me through the whole jail until we went to the cemetery where the claim bodies, I guess, are there. And finally it went away. But that gas chamber means business. There's a guy there who died, and it shows all the pictures. One of them was innocent, and they killed him. And I don't think it's him that's actually doing this. Because we got the feeling of, oh, you want to feel what it's like? Let me show you. And it was not pleasant through the whole jail.
Adrian, I was just looking this up, but so that is it. The Halloween walkthrough, is it called Dark Side of the Abbey? Is that it?
Yes.
Is that what it's called? Yeah, I was just looking because what I'm doing right now is, and you guys know I'm going to be doing this, but right before I already plan on doing a Nick Files episode like the week or so prior before we go out. Mm-hmm. So trying to get kind of not necessarily putting it together now, but just kind of skimming through with what I can grab as far as the history and paranormal side of it.
I've got like a 3-page thing I'll send you pictures of. Yeah. That's actually from the Abbey, and it's things you don't find online.
Okay, yeah, that would be great. Because more information I have, the more I can make it into an episode of this place.
It was awesome. I love that place. I never dreamed that I would smell anything. Yeah, I've smelled flowers before, smoke, or, things like that.
It looks like there's some sort of a police academy right behind the Abbey.
It is. It's not quite right behind it, but yeah, there is one. And there's also a winery, which we did not go to. We didn't go to the winery. We didn't go to the dark side. We ended up just doing the Abbey, which by itself in one night is hard to do.
Oh, I'm sure.
It's big. I mean, it's not like Waverly.
Jennifer's talking about one in Wyoming. There's another one like that, or?
I would love to go see that one too. I've never felt anything like this, and I hope I never do again. That place is not.
Eric said he would do the blindfold and earphone in. Okay, I gotta ask. Oh, in
Yes,
the guest
method.
chamber.
Yes.
Okay, so I gotta ask this question. I'm trying not to laugh, but the basement that you were talking about, is this one of those basements that somebody could get lost in? Okay, good.
Yeah, well, yes, you can get lost in it.
Okay, then.
It's so much so that I won't go alone.
Yeah.
I have no sense of direction anyway. We're going to put that out there right now. But downstairs in the basement is where they used to kill the cattle, because this was a self-sufficient place. It had fruits, vegetables. There's a root cellar down there, which was for the cabbage and beets and whatever they grew. They had cattle on that place, and there was a slaughterhouse down there. And he'll show you all that when we go through. And then, and this is the place
Where is that?
There's a dining room down there. No, Nick
Eric,
gets lost in basements.
Yeah, I got lost once in a huge basement at the Masonic Temple down in Kansas. Can't believe that was already 2 years ago. Jeez.
It sure was. But
Wow.
yeah, this place,
2021 of September.
This place, there's a metal door, which is really strange. If you watch the live I did, the guy asked me to he said, open the door. Well, I was pushing on the door. You're not supposed to push on it. You're supposed to pull on it. He didn't tell me that. So I'm like putting my hip into this door, and it wasn't opening. He said, no, pull. So I went to pull, and then I put my foot on it. He goes, really pull. I put my foot on it to pull, and it took all of that to get it to open. Well, the investigation before us, it opened by itself. So they finally put a camera there to watch it. There's no way this thing can open by itself. None. So I'm like, okay. We kept going around. There was a museum down there, which was it was an Indian museum. Somebody rented out to put Indian artifacts in. Those artifacts are still there. That place is where we got the growl. And we all heard it, audibly heard it. It was on the live. Nope.
The thing that concerns me is that this is just off of Highway 50 and about a block and a half away from a Walmart.
Oh,
Wow.
yeah. Oh, yeah. It was the first thing that was there before the town was even built.
Okay.
And it's amazing.
Did you guys hear the traffic on the highway?
Nope. Not at all.
Okay.
No, not at all. But there are, I think the fourth floor maybe is the one that like the roof is leaking in, and they had things there. You don't want to go up there. You don't want to go up there because they let us up there. It's not an issue, but it's like black mold that you don't want to mess with.
Oh no.
Sounds like some type of
marijuana dispensary right next door to it.
Sounds like wait, a what?
It's actually this is Colorado, Nick.
I
It's
know.
everywhere.
No, wait. I was trying to ask what Jeremy was saying. What's nearby?
Maggie's
Marijuana dispensary.
marijuana dispensary is right next
Oh,
door.
okay. Well, yeah. I mean, I knew that, but this black
But even
stuff.
better, right across the highway is Cannon City Lanes, a bowling center.
Ooh.
Yep.
We have to go bowling at some point. I'd go.
I would too.
Well, here's the thing. I'd have to talk to Scott about it, but see if maybe there's enough room for me to bring some bowling balls with me. Maybe we can go bowling sometime.
That would be awesome.
Bowling alleys have bowling balls. We can
I was
go.
gonna say, don't forget they do have the bowling
I
balls.
want my bowling balls.
Leave your balls at home. You're with a bunch of women. Leave your balls at home. They're in our purse. We got it.
See, Eric makes a good point. That's why you need a buddy to go with you.
You really do. You really do.
Yeah. He's also
Forget about Jennifer.
See, Eric, I'm just gonna say this right now because I don't even know how many times I've told this story on the show. I did have someone with me when we went to the Masonic Temple, and I was down in the basement, but I was
You had
literally
a lot of somebody's with
I
you.
had a lot of people, and I was left behind. Brad.
Yeah, that's why.
What about cat balls?
That's why you really do a buddy system, and like you're stuck with me all night. This is, if I go to the bathroom, you stand outside if you don't need to go, but you're waiting. But the good thing about this is that guy's got the camera where he can see you wherever you are. And so if somebody asks where's so-and-so, he can look.
Hey,
Well,
sure.
I will be bringing 3 walkie-talkies with me, so we
Me
can at
too.
least have that.
Me too.
I have. Well, if you guys need more, I don't think I've even told you guys this, but I have a 10-pack walkie-talkie system.
Bring them because that's 6.
That would be even better.
16.
Yep, I got them, and all they
So-
need to
Brad,
do is
you'll have one.
they're
Yeah, because my system may not exactly get on the same frequency of what.
Yeah,
Adrian-
there we go. Jen, I got you. We're good.
so like with the
Wait a minute. What did
walkie-talkie.
he say?
Oh, wait,
If
hang on.
I'm sick with Adrian,
Don't
if
ever
I'm-
expect to see me
you mean
again.
stuck, Brad? Stuck? Don't ever
If I'm
expect to see.
stuck with
You're
Adrian,
damn
yeah.
right.
If I'm stuck,
cemetery
yeah.
was
I don't
10
think he
feet
means.
away.
Yeah, see, he said stuck. Yeah, it was a
I
mistake.
will say this: I am going to be able to want to have some one-on-one investigation time with a whole bunch of you, so that
Yeah.
Nick, Adrian, Jennifer, definitely,
Yeah.
probably Jan, if I dare.
Mhm. Oh, yeah. Good luck. Jan's going to be there. You guys, Jed, Mimi, Zach.
Tammy, Scott and Tammy.
Yeah, Scott and Tammy. And then we have,
If only I could say Brad too.
I think that's actually all that is for sure. So anybody else that we want to bring that's, I don't want to open this up to people we don't know.
I was talking briefly a little bit with Adam earlier because, like, obviously we were offering him. He said if I had the money to travel across the country, he wouldn't be coming back to New York.
That's okay. Come live in Colorado. We got you.
You guys know he's actually originally from Louisiana, right? He never lived his entire life in New York. He's originally from Louisiana.
Even better. Let's do a crawfish boil. I got you. Let's go. And Adrian, the video that I made. Oh, fuck.
So, really quickly about, well, actually, just what's
Go
that?
ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, so really quickly about the, I forgot I was going to say more about the walkie-talkies that I have. And Jeremy, you should probably know this especially. It actually comes in a big box. It's actually the package mailbox because there's no like official box itself. They just put them all into this package box, into this package. So, and the way how they work too, I mean, like all you just need to do, like to charge, to just keep the batteries up is they got charged. Literally each one has its own individual charger. It's not all by one or two of them. So I got the chargers, I got the walkie-talkies. I just should probably let you know it does come in a big box. I haven't used them, in fact, for several years, but I know they still work because, well, actually,
Then once we get to Adrian's house, have those walkies accessible so that as soon as we get to
Yes.
her house, put them right on charge so they can charge all through the night. Then we don't have to worry about it when we get to the Abbey. They're all ready to go.
do
I
we
think
have
there's
like
5 that I have.
do we
Yeah,
have
I
like
think it's a 5-pack.
do we have like extension cords of the ones that has several outlets to it?
Oh, hell
'Cause-
yeah.
Okay,
Oh,
because
yeah.
I'm gonna need at least 10 of them because I'm gonna
Whatever
need to charge.
last minute shit we got to get, we got it here. We'll get it. We'll go.
Use
Okay.
a power strip. Put them all on that.
That's what I mean. A power strip. I'm gonna need at
We
least
got them.
10 of those. Yeah.
We got it.
And these walkie-talkies I have, I mean, these are literally like the same types like security guards use. So, and this
Oh,
one,
yeah,
I got
no, mine's not. mine's pretty and colorful and goes 30 miles. We're good.
Mine's pretty much about the same. They might be the same ones. You never know.
It could be.
See, why don't you use your phones as Eric asked?
Actually, as
We
far
do.
as phones go, we're going to want to keep our phones on cell phone mode.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, airplane mode.
airplane. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's also quicker too.
And
To,
not even have our phones with us.
well, and also sometimes one of us, if we're going to do it live, sometimes one of us is filming it. So, but more importantly
Not
too,
want everybody to go live at one time, though.
well, not everyone at one time. Usually it's just like one or two people, but also
that's
two more.
something we can talk about once we get there, because I don't want to put all the focus on the live and take away from the investigation itself.
Right.
Oh no, we won't.
No.
We'll do. I want to actually live stream the history this time, the whole thing, not part of it, just so people know what it is. And then whatever evidence we get, we can do that. We can put it on. But I'm gonna tell you right now, that place makes equipment not work.
Right.
Mimi and I, both of our body cams did not work. Like recorded
really?
nothing.
Wow.
Nothing.
Okay.
See, there's also actually I should probably just bring this up too. There's also another reason why we, and I'm sure you guys know this already, like, why we don't use our phones too, is because it takes a lot longer for people to respond on their phones when just a walkie-talkie, it's just the press of a button.
That's right. And we only need to be talking to each other right then. Hey, where are you?
Exactly.
Did you make that noise?
And I forgot to add this. In addition to the walkie-talkies
Jennifer,
I
we
have,
only need you. That's it. That's the bare minimum you need. You.
in addition to the walkie,
Jennifer, I've been tasked to bring everything with me. Adrian already told me.
Yep.
I forgot to mention, in addition to the walkie-talkies I have, I also have, it has another addition, all 10 of them, is I also got the headphone pieces. So you can also put them also on these headphones that I have, so it doesn't cause too much sound interference.
Right.
Okay,
I
well,
want to do the Estes
Yeah.
method while we're there. But I'm going to tell you, any paranormal investigator is going to tell you, any good one that isn't trying to get clout, is going to tell you if you feel
keeping my mouth shut.
I have it with me, Brad. It's already downstairs, ready to go.
Brad, zip your lip a minute. There we go. So, we have I do want to do the Estes method, but there's things like this. The guy that actually saw this thing, and after we all smelled it, when he actually saw it, you know what? I know this guy well enough to know he's not going to fake shit, and he's not going to freak out for no reason, because we were just heading down there. And he goes, nope, I'm good. He said this thing looked him in the eyes before it slinked back down the door. There's times that you got to say enough's enough. And I'm not tempting fate. Now, was this thing demonic? No, probably not. And it was probably just trying to scare people. Whatever it was. No. Because I actually brought something home with me from that thing. And when I walked in the door, I was smelling blood. And I'm like, okay, maybe it's my keys. Because, metal, the metal smell of keys can smell like blood. So I thought, okay, it was my keys. So I washed my hands. I was still smelling blood. I ended up saging, getting rid of shit. No, done. But yeah, we it'll go home with you if you don't do something about it while you're there.
What's this video that Brad keeps talking about?
I did watch that video, Brad, and a little freaky there. It's a cross between what is that? The Borgs in Star Trek?
Eric saying, see, I would.
A Zach Bagans video.
Oh God. See, I would say, hey, where are you going? That's what Eric would say.
Where you going? In that place, I don't know. But that guy told me that he thought it was the guy they tried to get rid of that was in the actual spooky place, the dark side of the Abbey. He encountered him and didn't have a very good experience with him, and pretty much told him that he's going to torment people. They thought they got rid of him, and that one guy didn't do what he was supposed to do and went to the bathroom instead of getting him out the door. When is what, Brad? When we're
I think
going?
he's talking about when we're going to Colorado.
August 12th and 13th is when we're going to be at the Abbey, or 11th and 12th. 11th and 12th, right?
Well, wait. Well, I know we're leaving on. We're leaving on a Friday, right, Jeremy?
No, we're leaving on Thursday.
Oh, Thursday. Okay, so
Yeah, 11th and 12th, I believe.
When we investigate, and it's almost an 18-hour drive there.
oh yeah, I remember. Like I said, when I was younger, it was about an 18-hour drive for us too.
So
Actually, copper smells like blood.
Yes, it does. And that's what I was thinking, my keys.
No, we're not, Brad.
Is that in
Shelby?
Colorado, or is that in like?
No, he's
Nebraska.
talking about where he lives.
Oh, where he lives. Okay, I was gonna say I thought was he talking about like in Colorado or Nebraska
No,
or Iowa?
Brad, Scott and I are leaving from Fort Wayne, and we're going up to Chicago to pick up Nick, and then make our way to Colorado. So we are going to have to leave like early. Scott and I are. We're going to have to leave early Thursday, as in 5 a.m.
That's what we did too back in the day. We did that too. We left like around 5 o'clock in the morning. Oh,
So that we can get to Adrian's house at about 8 or 9 o'clock.
yeah.
That's all right. Dinner be ready.
Yeah.
I haven't had that kind of a.
It might even be smart if we leave on Wednesday so that we can break up that time. I'll talk to Scott about that.
Yeah, because when you get here, we need to make sure we have everything we need. Because this is, yes, I live here and I can do this anytime, but this is our good shot at this. And it's like almost guaranteed. And that's what that guy told us. And you don't hear, tour guides say this very often. And he's not just a tour guide. He does like all kinds of, not paranormal, but like other things as well. And he's like, I can't guarantee that you're going to see a full body apparition. I can't guarantee you're going to, but I will guarantee you that no, Brad, I can't go this year. I can guarantee you everybody will have a personal experience.
What time are we leaving to go to the Abbey on Friday?
We can actually leave at any time. It really doesn't matter. It is a 4-hour drive from here.
4 hours?
4 hours. Holy crap. That's sounds like it's like on the other side of the state.
It's not. It's a lot. It's like the Royal Gorge area.
Okay. See, I was thinking half of that, like 2.
No, well, and you got to remember, when we took our trip, it was a very leisurely trip.
I'm looking at it right now. Under perfect conditions, it'll take 3 hours to get there. Wow.
Right.
Holy crap.
And it really was perfect conditions. There was no snow. There was no nothing when we went. And there won't be in August either.
Well,
obviously.
yeah, obviously not in August. I mean, unless like you're like really high up into the mountains. I mean, you sometimes see the snow up there, but even then, it's not a lot.
Yeah,
It's again, this is so.
This
I
was
mean, this
nice.
is like, it's like so ironic because again, this is like when I was younger. This was like around that time of the year that my family and I used to go to Colorado. So like going to Colorado is gonna be. It's like almost a throwback to when my family and I used to go to Copper Mountain during the last part of summer.
Brad, I did use that stuff.
I got quite a bit on the yes no box.
A lot of pit
I love the
stops.
REM pods.
I
ended up, one of the little buttons broke off, so I ended up, but I can use it like I can push it with a pen. It's fine. They all work really good. I'm actually going to use my, and I say this very lightly, haunted spirit box. It's actually it's in Canyon City, Jennifer. It's a SB. It's not the SB7. It's a Radio Shack
SB11?
hack, is what they call it. It's a Radio Shack hack.
Radio Shack hack.
Yep, it was a Radio Shack radio that somebody hacked into to be able to sweep. And it's actually really cool. But I was told that it's like possessed. I have not had that experience. It is not possessed. It works like it's supposed to. The person I got it from gave me another thing that was supposed to be haunted. If it is, it's a little colored woman who used to be a slave and is in our home now. Whether she came with the home or came with that, I don't know. But we have caught her on our camera several times. And from what I understand, she is getting ready for someone in our family to pass away. And she's making candles because that's what they used to do, is make candles for the next day, because we didn't have electric. And this house was built before electric was put in. So she's just making candles and getting ready for someone in this family to pass away.
Wow.
Whether it happens or not, we'll see. I mean, obviously it's going to happen at some point, but if it happens in the future, it's documented. We got it. We know. I don't know.
Jennifer, I sent you the address to the location.
10 boxes.
Hold on. What is it?
Not sure.
Oh, okay.
Temperature
Oh,
box.
that ought to be cool.
He's talking about the 4-in-1. He's been redoing it, testing it out.
Okay.
So three.
I was gonna.
It sounds like we got full day access to the place, so I personally will want to get there as early as possible to try to get setup done.
That's fine with me because I would have to set up my equipment too. And I got a lot of stuff, so
yeah,
I'm actually supposed to be getting some new equipment later this year. So I'm probably gonna even have more equipment than before. What's that?
Before we go?
Well, I can't guarantee that, but I'm saving up for some new items. Actually, some of the stuff I got to replace too.
And I also have all those CCTV cams, but they don't have audio on them because I can't figure out how to hook that up. But at any rate, if we're going to be there 2 nights, it would be worth setting it up. With just that one night, it wasn't.
Yeah. So what I was telling, I don't know if you heard me. I was telling Nate that if we have, you're welcome, Jennifer. That if we have, sounds like we have all day access. So it'd be better to get there and know the hot spots where I can put all my cameras up.
Yep.
That way we're not spending until 9-10 o'clock at night putting stuff up.
Right.
Yeah.
And you can put your cameras up. I'll put mine up wherever we see fit. I'm also going to get a couple of, which I don't have anymore. We won't go into that story. The old trail cams.
So I got 9 of those.
And I think those would be wonderful in places there. We just have to write down where we put them, because I've learned at the end of the night, you're tired. You really don't give a shit. And when you wake up the next morning, you give a shit about all that money you just wasted.
Yeah, Brad, I'm still kind of going over everything. This is why I'm trying to do a few investigations so I know everything's working. But what I do need to eventually get replaced, because it's not that it's not working, it's just that it's kind of falling apart as my Mel meter. I know I have to get that replaced because the screen and some other parts of it has been falling apart. I mean, it still works, but Eventually, I'm probably gonna have to get it replaced.
Mine's the same way.
Pushed
The
in.
what? The what?
Are you talking about the little plastic screen where the numbers are at and it got pushed in?
There's that, but also there's among some other issues that I'm having with right now. I think it's involved. I don't know if it's the batteries, but I mean, I know the batteries are in full operation. Trust me, I carry a battery tester with me, but I get it. I got to test everything out because I thought there was something that needs to be replaced.
Radio.
finish
What
your
radio are you
radio.
finishing, Eric?
Are you a builder as well, Eric?
You see now,
I know.
Eric. No, go ahead, Adrian.
I was just gonna say, I know my millimeter. I broke the antenna on it like day 2. So, but that's the only problem I have with it.
Yeah, this is why again I'm trying to do more ghost hunts for this year because I want to make sure, is there stuff that I need to replace or is everything good? Hey, Joe's in the house now. What's
Hi,
up,
Joe.
Joe? Spirit box, but more. That's what he's talking about. His radio.
Yeah. See, I have that Radio Shack hack, but that's it.
I see there is a Bunkhouse Burgers not too far from there. So I'm kind of curious about that.
The Mexican restaurant there, don't do it.
Why not?
There is nothing Mexican about it. You couldn't
Oh.
even taste the chili in the taco meat.
Oh, jeez.
I'll be honest. I never recommend Mexican food before doing an investigation because I don't want to be smelling other things instead of what we're supposed to. Be.
Well, and that's why we all went. Yeah, thank you. That's why we all went. We all did go to the Mexican place, and that's why I was like, Paul, did you fart? I mean, that was my first question, and I really thought he did because I've never smelled anything like that in my life. That was just so rancid. And then when everybody else smelled it, like walking behind us, I was like, yeah, that could still be. And then we went upstairs to Dennis, and he was like, I'll go check it out. When that guy said he saw what he saw, he goes, I'll go check it out. And he still smelled it, and it got worse. And that was 10 minutes later. Yeah, that's a problem.
Okay.
Eric, don't you have? I thought White Castle was all over the country. Don't you have them up too in Wisconsin?
White Castle will make you sick.
See, I will be honest. I mean, my dad, he loves that place, but
Yeah.
I'm not really too crazy about like their burgers. I like now. I will admit their fries are good, but I don't know about everything else
We
there.
would go to the jail at Crown Point. White Castle would be the only thing that was open, and that's where I would go to get some food before I went to sleep. Did okay with me.
Dog farts after eating spam require a gas mask.
Oh boy.
Yeah, that's what that place smelled like. No,
Now, Adrian, I actually did. I found some pages regarding the Abbey, especially the history. I mean, as you guys know, whenever I make my presentations, I mean, there are times where it takes a while for me to make all these presentations, but this one, I mean, this is going to take a while for me to put together, especially, as far as names, if I can find pictures of everyone. But
Well, you got months.
well,
I've got all those. I've got those.
Well, what I was going to say was it's actually not as bad as I thought it was. I mean, there is a lot of info, but it's actually not as bad. So I would probably say by putting a presentation together on this location, I would probably say it would take maybe only like 2 days for me to put together. I mean, I work on them really fast. So eventually I'll plan. I got to finish up with what I'm doing right now with a lot of like the Athens, Ohio locations, because that's kind of a major project, but I could promise you guys that right after I'm done with all those places, I'll be able to look into other places. So I will add the Abbey to the list. And also Brad requested me about this, that they were going to the Rose Opera House in Kentucky. I still plan on writing that, so I have that on the list. So I'll add this place onto the list too.
Yeah, so I will send you those pictures we have. You can pick through them and see if you can find history on that person. There was actually a son that killed himself. He committed suicide. Why he was buried there, I don't know. And why the priest was buried there, I don't know, because it is so against the Catholic Church
Oh, really?
for suicide. But the guy was buried next to his mom. I've got pictures of that. The priest that committed suicide there, I've got pictures of his gravestone. There's a coach who actually coached for that team that I got pictures of his gravestone, and then just some really cool pictures of the Abbey.
Right. Eric, we're still continuing on with part 4 of Athens, Ohio next week. I told you there's a lot of places that I'm covering throughout this town. Wacky ass weather is driving me crazy. Got places to go and people to piss off, and Mother Nature really needs to get back. He's right about that, because that's what it was like down in our area.
Yeah, weather's been really crazy. It was 80 degrees, and then 2 days later, we were actually getting snow flurries.
Yep,
Here
we
too.
were.
Here
We
we are
did too.
Here too.
again. It's almost 80 degrees.
And
Yep.
it's going to drop down again. I think it was either tomorrow or Saturday. It drops down. So it was like 80 degrees today. And then looking on the weather forecast. Okay, yeah. So 2 days from now, no, 3 days from now, let's say, because that's the lowest. It's going to drop back down to 46.
Well, I know we're supposed to be getting some rain.
Yes, we are. Jennifer says that she's got one.
About us going from your house, Adrian, to
Okay.
the Abbey is that it looks like we are going to be skirting around all of the mountains and not actually going into the mountains.
Oh, man.
Okay. Good.
Joe, if what you're saying is true, because obviously, again, because where you live, if it's going to affect your area, it's probably going to affect our area as well.
Well, he's further up north than you are, Nick.
He's further up. Well, he is, but if it's like a big weather front, then it's going to affect both of our areas.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, it depends on the size. Like if it's like half a state wide, then yeah, I can guarantee it's going to affect both of us then.
Oh, we're going to be going around Cheyenne Mountain. You know what's that Cheyenne Mountain, don't you?
Me?
Cheyenne, Cheyenne Mountain.
Not that I
What?
know of.
Stargate Command.
Stargate Command, really?
Yeah, pull a Sheldon. Get out there and all of your uniforms. Get your car stolen.
Stargate.
Enter the Stargate. Okay.
Jeremy, I was going to say, also, too, when you were mentioning earlier about that we may have to leave even earlier than expected, on a Wednesday. I mean, for me, it doesn't matter because, like I said before, I got a lot of vacation time to take off. So I got plenty of vacation time to take off. We have to leave on Wednesday or so, depending on what you guys decide on.
I'll get with Scott on that. It's really going to depend on him how much time he's going to be able to get out. Joe, we are going to be going to the Abbey in Canyon City, Colorado. It'll be a 2-day private event, but we're going to try to live stream it at least on Friday night. It's just going to depend on what we plan on when we get there. But it's going to be August 11th and 12th, Friday night, Saturday night. So we're going to see what we can do with that. I'm excited about this one.
I'm really excited too. I mean, we're like you said, we're almost just 2 months away. I mean, we're already more than halfway through with April. So yeah, it's 2-3 months away from 2 months
Just
away.
Under 4 months away.
Excuse me, 4 months. Yeah.
Yeah. Because 2 months away, I'm going to be in Nevada.
I was thinking that. Yeah, that was my. I got
You
confused
better
with the 2
stop
trips.
by.
And Joe, at some point, we got to meet up soon. I mean, too, at some point for an investigation because I know Joe wanted to meet up with me real soon.
Okay. Adrian, I'm going to try to stop by because my trip is going all the way across on 80. So,
Yeah, stop by and see mom and dad. They remember you and they want to see you.
but actually, where Greeley is at, Greeley is really halfway between Cheyenne and Denver. So actually, I think I can make that work, and then cut across and take 287 up to Laramie.
Yeah, it's yeah, you need to practice with your equipment and investigate the house.
Yeah, Joe.
I know you've been wanting me to do that. Jennifer, I'm bowling in Reno on June 3rd and 4th. So my
Jennifer's already investigated the house. She knows.
my,
Yeah, I'll just go back to what Joe. Yeah, Joe, if you come down to
Saturday, May 27th, that's the earliest when I'll be leaving the house. But it's going to take me probably 4 days this time to drive out to Reno because I still don't feel comfortable driving in the dark after what happened last year. If you remember that, Adrian.
Yes, I do.
But that storm was not exactly a typical storm either. So
No.
maybe I'll get lucky. I don't know.
Now, that time of year, there should not be any issues at all.
Joe, yeah, just let me know when you come down here, because obviously I know I told you I know who Dale is. So if you want to even just meet up, I'm fine with that. So yeah, just let me know. Oh, Jennifer's gonna be in South Dakota in May 26th to the 30th.
Okay.
Okay, so then we would have to plan for something after I'm done bowling. Well, actually, no. Oh, no, because I'm going to be arriving in Reno June 1st. So, no, yeah, it'll have to be after I'm done bowling.
It'll be really good to see everybody if we can just keep it to the people we know.
Yeah.
And even whether I know them or not doesn't matter. But you guys know them and know that, you know, they're not going to do some of the stuff that happened in Waverly.
Joe, yes, there is. We do have it. There is a town called Aurora, like in Wayne's World, and I think Aurora is probably just like about maybe a half hour, 40 minutes away from me. So I'm pretty close to Aurora.
I'm close to Aurora too, but it's Colorado.
Yeah, you guys have Aurora, Colorado. We got Aurora, Illinois. I'm sure that's a common town name. So, yeah, it'll be really. I'm actually like pretty excited for this. Like, oh man,
yeah, Aurora.
It's like each time. It's like each time I'm thinking to myself, like, you ever get that feeling sometimes, like when each week that goes by, even if it's still like a couple months away, you're like, okay, another week down. And but you know what? But the worst part of that whole waiting time is like the very last week, like right before the event, because like it's like the last week is always the slowest. Like it's like wait, it's like all the other weeks are quick except for that 1 week. Are the two that are I don't know what that word. I said OSR going to be
to that pranked us. Tony and Megan, they have not said anything to me yet.
Oh God, yeah, they really fooled the hell out of me when we were at OSR. Damn it!
Tony and Megan is so much fun.
Just stop there with my hand, get my picture taken with the pop sign.
Okay, so what I will plan on doing at least right now is that on the way to Reno, I'll stop by and see you guys, Adrian. And then on the way back, I'll see Jennifer.
Okay, sounds good.
Seems like a fair trade-off. And Nick, I just won't see you at all.
Wait, what?
Nick, I just won't see you at all.
Not till August.
And I'm on the way there, and he's not even going to stop by.
Yeah, like there's this force that keeps us from stopping by because, like, when I was there was an ice storm with an 86.
Yeah, you guys are going to come visit. You guys are going to come visit me, but that never happened.
Hell no, there was an ice storm with an 86 car pileup.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
I forgot about that.
Nick, I have seen you plenty of times.
Yeah,
I've
you've
only seen
seen-
you and Jennifer just a handful of times.
Right?
I think I've only seen you in person like 2 times so far.
Yep.
Just don't forget
You know
your
what,
red
Brad?
box.
You need to bring those red boxes with me.
Well, whether he brings them or not, that's what we see. So it's okay.
Oh my God! I just had an idea, Jeremy.
For her, and I'll tell you that right now.
You know what you should do, Jeremy? Is take those red boxers, wear them, and then like get a picture of yourself in the red hallway.
I
Yeah. You disappear.
You'd blend in. No one would even notice that you're there.
That's right.
well, I have to wear a red shirt though.
No, just your bottom half's missing. It's all good.
Jennifer.
There's a
That's all it
disconnect
is.
there. It's okay.
That's awesome, Joe. Jennifer saying she's wearing red boxers at the Abbey.
There we go. Yes, we
Okay,
all will.
You know what? Thinking about this now, maybe Jennifer should wear red shorts. I'll wear my red shorts, and we can take a picture together for that whole thing. You know?
You know what actually you guys should do afterwards with that picture is then like if it's like because it's all red, you should make that into like like when we do the sorry, the like Christmas card exchange, you can kind of make it like Christmas looking in a way because it's all red.
I think that would confuse
Hell
a lot of people if we start sending Christmas cards.
Yeah. Good
Let
night,
people
Eric. Have a
talk
good night.
shit. They're
Bye,
going to
Eric.
talk shit regardless.
I
I
can
didn't
just
hear.
picture that right now.
No, I didn't. I didn't hear you, Adrian.
I said, let people talk shit. They're going to talk shit regardless. Give them something to talk about. Shit.
Well, that is true. That is true. So might as well give them something good to talk about.
That's it.
Hey, Jeremy, I just thought of this again with the red boxers and the red hole. Up, speaking of which, Sean says he's wearing red shorts. But you know what? Can you imagine right now if, and actually, Adrian, just think of this. Imagine if Jeremy had, like secretly got into your house or like broke in and he was wearing all red. I can just see him like turning like one different direction, like facing one side of the wall and facing the next to match up with the red walls.
Well, I do have a red. I think I do. I do have a red sleeveless shirt, so I can bring that with me. I see. Okay.
See you right across.
You know what, Jennifer? Now I got this image in my head. And I'm trying to figure it out.
Okay, with that image, we're going to go to bed, guys. Yeah.
15 minutes. Yeah, it's time to call it a show.
I was supposed to be on live tonight doing a 420 special. My co-host never got called to start.
Oh.
Well, guess what? Around here, you get a penny joint with any purchase at any of the dispensaries. So, yeah.
Jeremy, I got to ask you. I mean, I know I already told you about this in the chat, so I thought I'd ask you face to face, but how did you like my video that I sent?
I already told you.
Yeah, I know. It's
Yeah.
pretty impressive. Just
It was. So
So
now I just got to get the other 2 videos turned in, and I'll be finally be able to get this thing put out.
yeah, it was a lot of work putting into this. So you guys are just gonna have to wait and see what it is. It's really exciting.
It's going to be good.
You travel to
All right,
Illinois
guys.
to find a
So we've been
dispenser.
on for 2 hours and 15 minutes. We're going to go ahead and call it a night. I'm going to get back to work on my writing. I need to do the second half of my day.
There's a dispensary in Illinois.
Yeah, we got a dispensary that apparently has a Blues Brothers brand.
Ah, okay. So when you
I mean,
do
it is-
that, beware. There's been lots of recalls on weed with those mold spores. So, yeah.
Should all wear red shorts at the Abbey.
Hell yeah, we should.
I probably got a pair or 2 somewhere.
I'll find them. And then we're going to do the exercise video too.
The exercise video.
Yeah. because apparently that's what Jeremy wears to exercise.
Can you imagine if we made like an exercise video for like things that work for everyone to watch?
Why not?
I am not doing an exercise video for the thing.
Oh, shit, the chair almost fell. It's been a long night already.
All right, guys, let's shut it down before we have any blunders that we have to put out.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right,
Mike.
guys. Well, thank you so much for playing along. We'll be back next week where we will probably, I will not be the new Richard Simmons. We will probably have another open mic night. And then Nick is doing the part 4 for Athens, Ohio.
Athens, Ohio. Yeah, there is, like I said, I'm going to be on this one for a couple episodes because, again, there's so many of them. But eventually I'll be getting to other areas soon.
Yeah,
right.
Jeremy might be the new Richard Simmons, but I'm gonna tell you what, he ain't gonna go missing like Richard Simmons does, because I will find his ass.
All right, and with that, we will see you guys all next week.
Yep. All right. Good night, everyone.